Is this finally the week Manchester United get their man? The summer transfer window is heating up, and Manchester United fans are on the edge of their seats. After months of talks, could Mbeumo finally be heading to Old Trafford? And what about those exciting Rodrygo rumors that just won't go away? If you're a United fan checking your phone every 5 minutes for transfer updates, you're not alone. This summer has been a roller coaster of emotions, and we're here to break down everything you need to know about United's current transfer targets. The Mbeumo saga. Are we nearly there yet? Let's start with the big one. Mbeumo has been linked with Manchester United for what feels like forever now. But are we actually close to seeing him in a United shirt? The short answer is yes, but it's been far from straightforward. United have already made 2 failed attempts to sign the Brentford winger, and the third time might just be the charm. Here's how it all started. Back in early June, United put in their first offer of £55 million for the 25-year-old Cameroon international. Brentford said no. Fair enough, that's how these things work. But United didn't give up. They came back with a second bid worth £62.5 million in total. This included the same £55 million base fee plus £7.5 million in add-ons. Again, Brentford turned it down. At this point, you might think United would move on to other targets. But they haven't. Why are United so keen on Mbeumo? Well, the player fits perfectly into Ruben Amorim's system. He's quick, direct, and can play on either wing. Plus, he knows the Premier League inside out after spending several seasons with Brentford. What's the hold-up? So why haven't United sealed the deal yet? It all comes down to money and timing. Brentford want £65 million for their star player. That's not a huge jump from United's second offer, but there's another issue. Brentford prefer to receive most of the money upfront rather than in small payments over several years. This is pretty normal for selling clubs. They want the cash in the bank so they can plan their own transfer business. United, on the other hand, like to spread payments out. It helps with their financial planning and means they can make more signings without breaking the bank all at once. But here's the interesting part. Reports suggest that United are now willing to meet Brentford's demands. The club is confident they can reach an agreement in the coming days. The player's perspective. What does Mbeumo think about all this? Well, he's currently on holiday in the United States, probably trying to switch off from all the transfer talk. But sources close to the player say he's very keen on the move to Old Trafford. This is crucial. When a player really wants to join your club, it often helps push the deal over the line. Mbeumo has made it clear through his representatives that United is his preferred destination. He's due to return to London in the next couple of days and is scheduled to start pre-season training with Brentford on Monday. This could be a key moment in the transfer saga. United's summer plans. Mbeumo would be United's third signing of the summer, following the arrivals of Matheus Cunha and Diego Leon. But he won't be the last if things go according to plan. Amorim is still looking for a striker and a midfielder before the Premier League season kicks off in mid-August. The club also needs to focus on player departures to make room in the squad and balance the books. United have a busy pre-season schedule coming up. They face Leeds in Stockholm, Sweden next Saturday before heading to the United States for the Premier League Summer Series. They'll play West Ham, Bournemouth, and Everton in that American tour. The hope is that Mbeumo will be part of the squad for these games. It would give him a chance to gel with his new teammates and get used to Amorim's system before the competitive games begin. The Rodrygo wildcard. Now, here's where things get really interesting. While United have been chasing Mbeumo, they've also been keeping an eye on other targets. One name that keeps coming up is Real Madrid's Rodrygo. The Brazilian winger has been linked with a move away from Spain this summer. But is there any truth to the United rumors? According to Spanish transfer journalist Jorge Picon, United have admired Rodrygo for a long time. Even though they're close to signing Mbeumo, they're still watching the market for other opportunities. Rodrygo is an exciting player. He's quick, skillful, and has experience at the highest level. He's won the Champions League with Real Madrid and has been a key player for Brazil's national team. But here's the problem. Real Madrid don't really want to sell him. Despite falling down the pecking order after Kylian Mbappe's arrival, Rodrygo is still valued by the club. The competition for Rodrygo. United aren't the only club interested in Rodrygo. Arsenal and Manchester City are also keeping tabs on the situation. City, in particular, seem very keen on the Brazilian. Reports suggest that City are trying to complete a deal for Rodrygo before Liverpool and Arsenal can make their move. The player became frustrated at Madrid last season because he didn't play as much as he would have liked. But Madrid's new manager, Xabi Alonso, apparently trusts Rodrygo for the upcoming season. The club isn't actively looking to sell him, and Rodrygo himself seems happy to stay for at least another year. What would Rodrygo bring to United? If United somehow managed to sign Rodrygo instead of or alongside Mbeumo, what would they be getting? Rodrygo is a different type of player compared to Mbeumo. He's more of a traditional winger who likes to cut inside and create chances. He's also got a good eye for goal and isn't afraid to shoot from distance. The Brazilian has pace to burn and is excellent in one-on-one situations. He would give United a different dimension in attack and could be the type of player who makes the difference in big games. However, there are questions about whether he could adapt to the Premier League's physical style of play. La Liga is very different from the English top flight, and not every player makes the transition successfully. The realistic scenario. Let's be honest here. While the Rodrygo links are exciting, they seem more like wishful thinking than reality. Madrid would want a huge fee for the Brazilian, probably much more than United are willing to pay. The Mbeumo deal makes much more sense. He's available, he wants to come, and the fee is reasonable for a player of his quality. United need wingers, and Mbeumo fits the bill perfectly. But football is unpredictable. Stranger things have happened in the transfer market. Remember when United signed Cristiano Ronaldo from Juventus seemingly out of nowhere? Or when they beat City to the signing of Alexis Sanchez? Why this week could be crucial. So why might this week be different from all the others? Several factors are coming together that could force a resolution to the Mbeumo saga. First, the player is due back from his holiday and will return to Brentford training on Monday. This puts pressure on both clubs to get a deal done before he reports back. Second, United's preseason is about to begin in earnest. They need to finalize their squad so new signings can integrate properly with the team. Third, there are reports that United are now willing to meet Brentford's financial demands. If that's true, there shouldn't be any major obstacles left. The bigger picture. These potential signings are part of a bigger plan at United. Amorim is trying to build a team that can compete for trophies again. That means bringing in players who fit his system and have the right mentality. Mbeumo has shown he can perform consistently in the Premier League. He's not a flashy signing, but he's exactly the type of reliable performer United need. The club has made too many big-name signings in recent years that haven't worked out. Sometimes it's better to go for the solid, dependable option rather than the glamorous one. What United fans should expect. If you're a United fan, what should you be looking out for in the coming days? Keep an eye on social media and the sports news. Transfer announcements often come suddenly, especially when deals have been in the works for a while. Don't get too caught up in the Rodrygo speculation. While it's fun to dream about signing one of the world's best young wingers, the Mbeumo deal is much more likely to happen. Also, remember that transfers can collapse at the last minute. Until a player is holding up the shirt at Old Trafford, nothing is guaranteed. Football fans have learned this lesson the hard way many times. The financial reality. One thing to keep in mind is United's financial situation. The club has spent big money in recent years, and there are financial fair play rules to consider. That's why the Mbeumo deal makes sense. He's a good player at a reasonable price. United can afford to pay Brentford's asking price without breaking the bank. The Rodrygo option would be much more expensive. Real Madrid would probably want at least £80 to £90 million for their Brazilian star. That's a lot of money for a player who might not even want to leave Spain. Looking ahead. Whatever happens with these transfers, United fans should be cautiously optimistic. The club seems to have a clearer plan under Amorim than they've had for years. The signings of Cunha and Leon were smart moves. Both players address specific needs in the squad. If United can add Mbeumo to that list, they'll have had a very good summer. The key is not to expect too much too soon. Building a winning team takes time, and United have learned that lesson the hard way over the past few years. The bottom line. So, Is this finally the week Manchester United get their man? When it comes to Mbeumo, all signs point to yes. The player wants to come, United are willing to pay, and time is running out before pre-season begins. The Rodrygo situation is more complicated. While United may have long-term interest in the Brazilian, it seems unlikely anything will happen this summer. For United fans, the important thing is that the club is finally making smart, targeted signings. Whether it's Mbeumo, Rodrygo, or someone else entirely, the focus should be on building a team that can compete at the highest level. The transfer window still has several weeks to run, and football fans know that anything can happen. But right now, it looks like Mbeumo could be wearing the famous red shirt very soon. Keep your phones charged, United fans. This could be an exciting week.